I'm finally done moving, hallelujah. Well, as promised, here's the video that's going to show you everything that I have set up in its current configuration, and oh my gosh, do I have space. It's about time. I'm super excited to show you this, guys. I had just got done sorting everything and alphabetizing everything, and we'll start in my dining room. This is my PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 2 shelf. And you can see, look how much room I have for expansion. This is absolutely fantastic. I'm super excited about this. Just tons of room to expand. I just put up a couple of games on display so it doesn't look so freaking empty. But at any point that I need that space, I can absolutely grab it. So I'm super excited. The games that I put on display are just things that mean something to me. Either personally, it's got a story behind it. For example, Jack, thank you very much for that copy right there. I really appreciate it. It's very much appreciated. And, you know, I worked my butt off to get that and that sort of thing. So I just have a lot of, you know, stories behind this. Won the GameStop lottery on a copy of Africa for the PS3, which is super exciting. But this is my dining room and its current configuration. In the old house, this is where my my dining room table was, you know, and the gigantic board game bookshelf that was here. But now it's, you know, obviously covered in PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 2. Unfortunately, I thought I could fit 3 of these shelves side by side, but I couldn't. So I had to go with a smaller shelf for my Sega collection. But I'm really happy about it. Look at this stuff that's, you know, this is a smaller shelf, sure. Got my poker collection, my poker chip collection from when I went to Vegas, as well as True Dungeon stuff. I know I'm a nerd. It's fine. But I have a ton of stuff for Sega. At least that's the way it looks. Though, if you remember in the last video, it looked pathetic. But at least I have... you know, the titles that I want to display, and I still have room for that. I just picked up Panzer Dragoon as an example, and I'm still able to display it. So still plenty of room on this shelf for any Sega acquisitions, and I'm super excited about it. The systems on top are just, well, these two specifically, I need to go ahead and sell. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. That one's mine. Working on a way to display my consoles. I just acquired a shelf, and I have no idea where to put it because I don't have any more room to put any more shelving. But that's my dining room, where my dining room table used to be. Instead, my dining room table is right here. Still a mess. I just, you know, having a dining room table as your work area is really the biggest concern. But, you know, I also kind of want a place to sit and eat. But this is where it's currently set up for my shipping area. I got my postal scale, my Zebra label printer, and packing tape, of course. A couple of laptops to do actual the printing of the postage and that sort of thing. And then, of course, my testing station right here to test any number of consoles that I might acquire. I have a bunch of stuff down here for like cleaning cartridges, taking apart cartridges. And then the supplies for my JFJ, which is right here. And this thing, guys, if you don't know what this is, it's absolute magic. It'll bring a disc back to life, and it's absolutely fantastic. I went ahead and mounted the power strip that I was using on the wall, and I'm not happy with it because my postal scale's power cord isn't long enough to reach this power strip. So I have to kind of figure that out and figure out what to do there. Let me go into the kitchen real quick. Apologies, I know you guys don't want to see normal living space. But here's the mudroom. They call it a mudroom because this is where you're supposed to kick off the dirt. But I decided to set this up as my spare parts area where I have, you know, empty cases, empty DS cases, Wii cases, PlayStation 1 or Dreamcast cases that I could just pull off the shelf. I have a couple of movies that I want to keep around, a couple of VHS tapes that I'm not really sure where they should go, and then of course my piddly little Atari collection needed a home, so that's where it sits currently. On the other side of this is a gigantic disaster. Shipping supplies, it goes on this shelf, and apologies for the tools and whatnot. I just literally finished moving. And then more empty cases on this shelf. So I have some actual empty cases that if I find the game loose or something like that, I could just go ahead and put in here. These were just collected throughout the years. You know, you trade stuff into GameStop, they don't require you to trade in the case with it, so I've kept the case for everything that I've traded in. But so if I find it loose and I want to turn around and get rid of it, that's absolutely fine. Finding original Xbox cases is a pain in the butt, so I've kept all the ones that I have, and then of course I have extra just empty cases for when I find loose games. I can print off a cover scan or something like that and go ahead and stick it in here. It's better than, you know, having a spindle full of games. So back out through my kitchen and into my living room. Sorry for the shakiness. This is my living room, so right here is where I typically do all of my computer work. And then my Xbox collection. Man, I'm super happy about this Xbox collection. The only thing I'm not happy with is I'm out of room already. So I upgraded it. I don't know if you guys remember from the older video, I upgraded this shelf. It was only on one single size 3-width shelf, and it just wasn't enough. I thought it was going to be enough to upgrade to one of the bigger shelves, and boy was I wrong. So I don't know what to do at this point. I am trying to go for a complete set of original Xbox, and you know, to do that I would pretty much need to get rid of the Xbox 360 off of this shelf and keep this just for original Xbox. I don't have a place to put another shelf to hold my 360 stuff, so not really sure what to do there. Over here, I've downgraded my trade shelf to just something very small, and hey, guess what? I need to do a live sale. So if you don't know what that is, check out Pocket Full of Games on Facebook. I'm doing a live sale on this Friday, the 11th of May, and where I will basically be selling this stuff on Facebook Live. So if you're interested, go ahead and sign up. I got the event posted. Just sign up for the event. Let me know you're going to be there. My TV setup for downstairs currently has the Xbox 360, and Xbox One, as well as I finally got a CECH A01 PlayStation 3. Hallelujah, which makes me very happy considering I just took out my PlayStation 2 from this setup. My NES, my Sega Genesis Model 3, only because I don't have a Sega CD yet. That's the only console I'm really missing. My Core 2 Duo with an EverDrive in it, and yeah, my Sega Genesis also has an EverDrive, as well as my NES also has, you know, what constitutes as an EverDrive. It's an older model, but it works just fine. There we go. Alright. And then of course my N64, and I do have an EverDrive for that, but you know, I just plugged this stuff up. I haven't actually plugged anything in. So that's my downstairs setup. So funny story about this shelf. When I moved in here, I don't know if you guys remember, but the last time that you guys saw my fireplace area, it was 100% covered in a game shelf. So I was stunned to find out that in my remodeled unit they put a freaking mantle up. So I had to get creative, and one of the ways that I was able to do this is a friend of mine, John, and I were moving my shelves, and as we were moving one of them, it literally broke in half. Oops. But by the same token, I was able to just go ahead and put the bottom half below the mantle and the top half above it, and this is what holds my current gen stuff. So I have Switch, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4 here. So it worked out. I got lucky. Down here, I'm just going to put the collector's editions, or the games that I feel hold a special place in my heart. For example, I grew up playing karate on the Apple IIe. I'm that old. And I found a sealed copy at a convention and had to get it, so that's why it's there. But I'm just going to put collector's editions. I'm working on a deal right now, hopefully, hope, that I get Military Madness for the TurboGrafx 16 sealed. Hopefully that guy agrees on my price, and hopefully I could get it. And then my true labor of love right here, the original PlayStation, where I am going for a complete set. And I don't know if you guys remember from the old video, but I had no room to spare. So I upgraded it to a bigger shelf. Still looks full, but if you look, I have a bunch of display titles of, you know, the stuff that means a lot to me or has a story behind it. But more than that, I actually can order more shelves for this and actually get a whole nother row, maybe possibly two, on this shelf. So I'm going to have plenty of space to expand my PlayStation 1 collection, which is great because I don't know, I don't remember off the top of my head how many PlayStation 1 games there are, but yeah, I'm nowhere near that, even the halfway mark. So for now, this will do. You know, it's going to hold all the games that I need for at least the next year or two, hopefully. If it doesn't, then I'll have to figure something else out. But let me give you a wide-angle shot because that's what you guys pretty much saw at the old place. But that's what it looks like now. Before, there was the PlayStation 1 shelf, but it was a whole lot smaller, and a couple of display shelves, which are now being used for my mudroom, which is fantastic. Let's go ahead and take you upstairs, and I'll show you the rest of this stuff. I'm so excited about this, guys. You have no idea how happy this makes me. It definitely gives me more room to expand my collection, which I'm totally planning on doing. As far as what I'm trying to get, I'm trying to get a full set of everything, just because I can't make up my mind. But I have the focus of PlayStation 1 and original Xbox right now. So I'm in my bedroom right now, and the first thing I'm going to show you is my new handheld shelf. And this handheld shelf was just a single shelf that has now been upgraded. Most of what you saw on the display shelves from the last video are now integrated onto this shelf. It looks full, it looks messy, I'm not sure I like it, but I don't know what else to do right now. The good news, it fits all the games that I need, and with plenty of room to spare. So what I'm housing on here is my 3DS, my DS collection, Game Boy Advance, with a very small showing of the Game Boy Advance video. I have a couple more, I just haven't created labels for them. Game Boy Color and original Game Boy, my piddly little Vita collection, and of course my PSP collection is all right here. As well as my Wonder Swan, my very small Wonder Swan collection, my Game Gear collection, which I'm trying to get labels for my Game Gears to put them in a DS case. That's becoming a labor of love. Thank you, Chris. You're amazing. And then, of course, I have a whole bunch of systems here. This SP, for example, I bought on release date and was able to keep it. So I'm pretty excited about this. I still, like I said, have plenty of room to grow and still can display all of the things that I want. Now onto the bookshelf. The bookshelf before was kind of small. It wasn't working out very well. It looked kind of messy. And it's just a taller version of the same thing. This used to hold my board games downstairs. But I've since moved those games into my daughter's bedroom. She loves me for it, I promise. But I now repurposed this, and it's now holding my strategy guides and PC games that I want to keep around. So, and as well as a bunch of the big box stuff that I really don't want to display or don't have the room to display. So that's what that's for. Now across the bed, and we've got still 3 shelves on this side, but welcome to Nintendo. This is exactly what I was hoping that it would be. Plenty of room to spare, and then some. I have a whole shelf for my Amiibo collection, which, with room to grow if I decide to. I haven't really decided if I want to grow this collection or not, but still plenty of room to spare. And then everything else for Nintendo is looking a little tight. I'm not entirely sure if this is going to work out long term, but at least I have this shelf to expand to if I absolutely need it, which makes me all sorts of happy. This is housing my Wii U, my Wii, GameCube, Nintendo 64, and I don't know if you remember, but that stuff wouldn't fit before. But now I can actually get a whole bunch of stuff on here now. Boxes for Nintendo 64 and Super Nintendo, as well as my SNES and NES collections. I absolutely love this configuration and setup with plenty of room to grow. It makes me very happy to have this. You might be wondering what that is. That was before EverDrives were a thing. This is called a Z64. You would plug in a Nintendo 64 cart into this. There'd be a little LCD panel that lit up. And yep, that's a zip drive, alright, with what it allows it to do is to read the EEPROM off of the cart and write it to the zip drive. And that's how we used to do things. Let me give you an example. There you go. That's how it used to be. I've had this thing since 1999? Something like that. But, I don't know. Thought about getting rid of it. I pretty much don't want to now. There's the zip drive for it. Do you kids remember what zip drives are? Yeah, probably not. But, anyway. So, this is my Nintendo shelf. And that's pretty much the extent of my collection now, guys. I'm super happy that I now have space to work with. It makes me very overjoyed that I can now go yard sailing, since yard sailing season is getting ready to start, or has started. And I'm going to be able to expand basically on every platform. So, oh, one more thing. My upstairs TV setup. I didn't show you this the last time, but, or maybe I did, I don't remember. But here's my upstairs TV with a couple of other systems. So I got my Super NT with a SD to SNES flash card and a Bluetooth SNES controller from 8-Bit Do. My Switch, and let's see what we got down here. I got my PlayStation 4 and my Project Scorpio Xbox One X, as well as a Wii U, and my GameCube that is actually hooked up via, I don't know if you guys can see that very well. Let's see if I can't take that out. That's an HDMI cord, guys. So I got an HDMI mounted GameCube with the Game Boy player, and it does really well. I'm really happy with it. And it's nice to play with a Wavebird, so I could just lie in bed and just sit there and play games. So, but that's it. You've seen everything. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm sorry it took me so long to actually do it, but I'm super excited. I'm going to start making more videos, maybe finding pickups or something like that. And I'll probably going to post them online somewhere. I haven't exactly figured out where. But hope you like this video. Thanks for taking the time to watch it, and you guys take care.